Hi, this is Cheryl of Majestic Artworks. In this video, I'm going to show you how I oxidize my pieces and how I buff my pieces and how I can make copper shiny again afterwards in case you need to redo a finish if you've made it too dark or you don't like how it turned out. And I'm just going to share all that with you. Now, I used to use liver of sulfur like so many people do, and I worked at a rock and gem shop, and I've taken silversmithing classes, and they always teach you to use liver of sulfur. Well, a couple of times I have purchased liver of sulfur and it was no good. It didn't work, and I felt like I was throwing my money away. And so I started doing some research, and I found that people were using fumes of ammonia. But the way they were doing it was they were using a glass jar and pouring the ammonia in it, and then taking the pieces of jewelry, attaching it to string, and taping it to the lid. Well, I didn't want to expose myself to the fumes, and so I thought of a different way of using the liver of sulfur, which doesn't expose you to the fumes. So this is how I do it. I have a 4-cup Rubbermaid container here, and inside of it I have a glass bowl, and I do glass because you don't want it to float, because when you're using fumes of ammonia, it's like a rain. It cycles itself. It actually forms a vapor in there, and it's almost like it's rain in there, and it's soaks your item very slowly with the ammonia, and then it drains down. So I started off with my ammonia in the glass bowl, and then over time it just gradually falls everywhere, and so that's how I do it. And when you open it, see the glass bowl, I have some pantyhose over it. Actually, it's trouser stocking for women, so it's a little bit thicker, and I set my pieces on top of here and then quickly close the lid. And then if you're standing back and you do it quickly, you can put multiple pieces on there in no time at all, and then close the lid quickly, and then you don't get any fumes. And ammonia, this is the type of ammonia I'm using right now. I bought it at Safeway. I think it was less than $3, but you can even find them at a dollar store now. And any ammonia, cleaning ammonia, will work for this. So what you need to do is, in the glass bowl or around it, doesn't matter where you pour it, you put your glass bowl in the container that seals, and you put about an inch. And you can reuse and reuse and reuse this ammonia over and over again. And so this is pennies to use, very cost effective. Matter of fact, this batch has been sitting in this container for 6 months. It's time to change it again, but the only difference it is how much time it takes to oxidize your piece. When it's fresh, brand new ammonia, 10-15 minutes, and you would set a timer, 10-15 minutes, and it'll be done. When it's old like this one, it can take like an hour to oxidize your piece. So what I'm going to do now is demonstrate how it works, and I'm going to use this heart, and I'm going to put it inside. Just set it on top, close the lid, and just let it sit. Okay, and I'm going to be back once it's done. So I'm pausing right now, and just to make it quick. Okay, I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. I'm just going to check on my pendant here to see if it's dark enough. My timer went off for what I was guessing. Just figured I'd share the checking with you. Okay, it's gotten a little darker. I want it darker than that, so I'm going to put it back in. Close the lid. And see you in a bit. I'm back, and we're going to check our pendant here one more time. I'm not going to go overly dark to demonstrate, but as you can see, it's just a nice brown color. Okay, so we're going to put this aside. I'm just going to review one more time that this is just a 4-cup Rubbermaid container. This is a glass bowl to have weight, and a thick pantyhose type sock put over top of the bowl, and about 1 inch of ammonia in there, well, about a cup, and then we just keep it sealed. Like I said, this one's about ready to be exchanged, but I've been using it for 6 months. So some people might need to exchange faster. It depends how many pieces you make, because every time it does work, it's going to weaken the solution. So it's a trial and error thing, and depending on how deep oxidization you want will depend how much time you need to set your pieces into the container. You can put multiple pieces in at a time, but what's so nice about this, besides liver of sulfur, is you don't need to wait to do a bunch of pieces. You can do 1 piece at a time, and it's not going to cost you anything. Literally, if you break down the cost of the container and the glass bowl and the ammonia, it's pennies a piece. I've been using this container for three or 4 years now, so really, and it doesn't break down the plastic at all, and the glass really is just to keep the weight, because it's literally almost like it's those drops that build up on the lid drop down, so it's kind of like raining inside, but very slowly. So okay, so we're done with the ammonia. So the next thing I wanted to show you or talk to you about was buffing pieces. Now, a lot of people use, what's it called? It's that metal stuff. Oh, sorry about that. My recall's just terrible. But anyways, I used to use the metal stuff to do it, but it breaks down, and fibers of metal go in the air, and I ended up with a lung infection. And I thought, there's got to be a safer way, a better way of buffing a shine on your metal pieces besides using metal against metal that will harm your lungs. So this is what I came up with. I use a nail buff. Now this is a Revlon Crazy Shine nail buff. It comes in all kinds of different designs. This is a plain one, but sometimes there's fancy designs on this side, and you can buy it at Walmart, you can buy it at a drugstore. They cost around, depending where you buy it, around $6. And so what this is meant for those that aren't familiar with it, it's not for artificial nails, it's for real nails. It's meant to, you go really fast on your nails on the sandpaper side, which is a very mild sandpaper, and then you go really fast with a buff shine, and it makes your natural nails look like you're wearing nail polish, clear nail polish, and they're great. So what I do is I use the sandpaper side first. Okay, I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Okay. Maybe on a spiral it'll pick it up. I guess I should have done it darker so you could see. Okay, now I'm going on the buff side. You can hear it squeak, and it just makes it glow and shine. And you just do this all over the place, and it works like nobody's business. So you just work on the whole piece. And what it does is it gives you the highlights. That shows off all the wire work. And you keep doing it until you're happy with the final result. I should have done it darker to show up on camera. My fingers turn a little bit black from this. And it just highlights all your work. See, that's where it hasn't been buffed, and that's where it's buffed. Okay, so that's what I do use for buffing. And what's so nice about this is you can take your work, and even the ammonia, if you were very careful that it didn't spill, you could take it anywhere with you. You could take it camping. You could take it, and I do take stuff camping with me. And it's like a little workshop without... There, it's portable. Take it with you to a farmer's market, a craft shop. You can work on pieces right then and there. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you what I do. Now, say you left this in the ammonia and you forgot about it and it sat overnight and it was just black. You know? People have thrown out pieces for that. So I came up with something else. Now, I don't know if it's my own original idea. I know I came it up with myself, but other people might have come up with it. I've heard of people using ketchup. And I don't like using ketchup to take off oxidization because it's got fibrous things in it that, especially if you've got weaving, it gets stuck in it and you can never get it out. So I do not recommend using ketchup. But what I do use is soy sauce. So what I do is I take some soy sauce. It's, I'd say it's a couple ounces here. And I heat it up in a glass dish in the microwave until it's so hot that you can't touch it. So I'm going to pause this right now and I'm going to heat this up and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I've heated this soy sauce up to pretty much, I think I even made it boil. So what you really need is just a dish that's big enough that it's going to handle the piece that you're submersing. So if it's a bigger piece, you'll need a bigger dish. I'm going to set it in like that. I'm just going to let it sit. I'm not wiping it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute. If it's really heavy duty oxidization, I'd say a minute. And while it's in there, I'm going to just tell you what I do. So this soy sauce, you don't throw it away. You can use it over and over again. And you'll know when it stops working because it's going to stop working. But I've been using the same soy sauce for, at least 20, 30 times. And it's working great still. So what you do is you take it and put it into a liquid tight container and stick it in your fridge, but put a label on it saying soy sauce for jewelry. And that way it's going to be in the fridge for you for the next time. But you got to heat it up each time. Super, super hot. Now, normally when I take it out, I'm at the sink. and I've got running water. But for this video, I've just got a dish of regular tap water, and I'm going to take out my heart, and I'm going to stick it in the water to wash it off. And then you dry it with a cloth, a soft cloth. I've got a microfiber here. Now I do my videos at night because I run a day home during the day, but I think that the lighting shows enough that the oxidization's all gone. It's like new again. It's pretty slick. So, but if you were wanting to re-oxidize it, there's one step that you got to do in between. So copper is never good to be wet, but if you're going to put it in your ammonia again, the fumes of ammonia, what you need to do is make sure it's totally dry. So I use a glass bowl again because of the weight, and I take a blow dryer and I just hold it on it and make all the water evaporate in all the little pores. You need it all gone, because if it happens to have moisture in there when you put it into the ammonia, guess what's going to happen? It's going to turn green. Anywhere that it had moisture, it's going to turn green in a pretty quick amount of time. So if you want green on purpose, that's what you got to do. And but I prefer it not to be green. And copper's always good to be dried after rinsing or washing. And this is another time where you want to use your soy sauce. Say you go swimming in the swimming pool. Those chemicals in the water are going to have a horrific effect on your copper, and it's going to make it look awful. So in order to take it all off, all you'd have to do is put it in the soy sauce, the hot soy sauce. So anyways, that's all my tips for today, and I hope this was useful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.